Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. We start off the show this week with state championship soccer, and I say hail to the champions. In all of its school history, West Hall had never won a team state championship in any sport until this past week when the third-ranked West Hall soccer boys punched their ticket to the AAA state championship game, and when they got there, they won it all. They did it while avenging a loss in the semifinals to the team that had sidelined them the last two times during the playoffs, and they did it shorthanded. Spartans knocked off number one Oconee County 2-0 on goals by Richie Castrita and a 45-yard free kick by Bradley Hodson. Castrita's 14th goal of the season, his 7th of the playoffs. West Hall goalie Cesar Vila had 6 saves in the shutout. And then they faced off against unbeaten and second-ranked Calhoun at Mercer University in Macon for the championship, and they prevailed 3-1. Steve Rodriguez, Isaac Castrita, and Sammy Cotto scored in the win. They're 13th against only 1 loss and 2 ties for the season. Cotto setting up Isaac Castrita, then scoring himself on a penalty kick. And in the playoffs, they outscored their opponents 18-2. It was the first soccer championship, in fact, for a county school. And after the game, Cotto and fellow senior Captain Eduardo Magana met with Morgan Lee of Access WDUN.
You know, how incredible is it to be part of this?
Honestly, it's unreal. It's something that, I mean, it was tough getting, but now that we got it, it's awesome. It's another accomplishment on my bucket list, and it's awesome.
How does, you know, first team title for the school, first for the program, first for a Hall County Schools soccer program, how incredible?
It's unbelievable. Like I told someone else earlier, it's like it goes both ways. I can actually believe it because we've been working so hard for this, and it's finally paid off. But at the same time, it's a state final and we're champions. It's just crazy.
And we bring to our set now Coach Tim Gale, the coach of the West Hall Spartans. And first of all, Tim, thanks for coming in and congratulations on what had to be a great day down in Macon.
Thank you, Gary. Thanks for having me. It was a great day. It was a great day for the boys. They'd worked so hard all these years. They've played some great soccer throughout these years, got a region title finally. You know, they've done really well. I'm proud of these guys. They've hung with it. They played together like a team. It took team effort. They had a lot of competition, and they had a few injuries. They weren't 100%, all the players, but they played hard, played with heart, and I'm just proud for the boys. I'm glad for those boys.
Well, we're going to talk about the state championship game, but I want to do the semifinal game. Somebody that had been your nemesis, and the kids were really excited about getting that win over Oconee County.
They were. They were very excited to get to play them again. They really wanted to have a chance against a quality team. They are a quality team. In fact, after we finished Saturday's game, we were coming home on the bus after our championship win. I'm excited about that, of course. I asked the boys, said, who was the toughest competition this year? And they felt like it was actually Oconee County. We played well against them. They were very talented, skilled. I think we held them at bay enough so they couldn't get those chances around the goal as much. Their set plays were dangerous. We knew that, and they were very talented. We were able, with our keeper, fine keeper, Cesar Villa, and with our defense, our great defense, to keep the ball out, and we ended up winning that game.
So now you get to the championship game, and a little bit of a different animal, Tim, because now you got to play on turf, and it's going to be a hot day, and that makes it even hotter.
Yes.
So
yes.
How do you approach that? I know you've been done a whole lot of conditioning this year, and that had to have helped.
Well, we did. We knew that conditioning was going to be a big thing for us, for our team. If we could stay conditioned, we felt like we had the skill set with individual players, their individual abilities. We felt like we had them playing as a team. They worked together well as a team, really for years, but particularly even maybe tighter this year. On that hot day, though, again, we tried to follow the plan, and Coach Kirkland had a huge part in this. He came up with a game plan earlier this year, and we decided to kind of follow it tightly most each game after that, since the region play, to put guys on the turf. And let's keep subbing guys in. For one, it gives them playing experience and get them playing better as a team. And secondly, we think we kind of wore some teams down. By the end of the game, our guys were a little fresher. We'll get those starters back in there, and perhaps the other team might not have been quite as fresh. And I think that was to our advantage. We had a deep bench and could throw guys out in the field that were very talented, and we're excited they could get to play and do quality soccer as well. So I think that plan, I think had to help us.
So you take a lead, and then they tie the game, and then you get the lead back, and then you add an insurance goal. So it was in doubt for quite a while.
It was. We got that first goal, and of course we were pumped and ready to go and play. And then they answered early in the second half, which was our main concern with Calhoun. They're very good on set plays. They're very good at crashing the goal. And I knew that was going to be an issue for us. We don't have a tall team, and I knew that was going to be an issue again. They got that second tie, or got their first tie goal and tied it up early in the second half, and I knew we were in for a battle. But our guys really settled down after that. I thought we took control better of the field play at that point. Even though they had some momentum, I feel like we controlled that. We kept the ball then a few times more down on their end, and that gave us a chance for a penalty. And Sammy scored that. And then later in the game, it was a beautiful goal anyway. Sammy Cota laid the ball off beautifully from the left side across the 6 to Isaac, who was running on goal, made a great goal. So that was great. I felt much better after that third goal, honestly. I wasn't sure we had it in the bag at all till then, but at that point I felt pretty good. Yes.
Besides the win, Tim, and the state championship, which of course nobody can ever take away from you, and it's going to be a part of the memories of you and these guys forever. What's going to stand out about this team this year? The intangibles that made this possible, maybe.
Well, there are intangibles. This team has always played well together. They have fought together. They've been through the ups and downs, and they've had a lot of success, so most of it's been on the upside. But these boys, they had leadership out of those captains. I mentioned Eduardo Magana and Simon Cobian and Ramses Martinez and others.
Cobian was the boy that had the broken face.
That's correct. And these guys just stepped up, and they would lead the team. They would pull them together. They worked hard over the summer. They would get the guys to believe if they worked hard and play together as a team that they would have a chance. And the intangibles, honestly, they get grouped up and they have team meetings. In those team meetings, I think there was some prayer involved. They would talk about the game and talk about how well they could be, and they didn't want anybody out there playing if they were going to give it 100%. And so they really drew themselves together as that team and had that chemistry, and they were like family, honestly. They were much like family, and they fought for each other like a family member would fight for another family member. And when they got on the field, if something wasn't perfect, someone made, maybe not the best play, there'd be someone there to pick them up and go. And it was definitely a full team effort from starters through everybody else on the squad.
Last thing, Coach, I know you're enjoying this one now, but what you got coming back? Going to lose some great seniors, obviously.
Yeah, that's a great class. It maybe is one of the best, if not the best, senior class we've ever had at West Hall High School, honestly, in soccer. It's a great squad. Good quality boys, too, good quality families. But we got some guys that have played some in the tournament for us. We had quite a number of guys, some juniors that played great soccer. We have some young guys, sophomores and freshmen, that played some good, fine soccer as well. We had a very quality JV team this year, and some of those guys actually did play JV. We did put on the squad for the tournament, and they had success this year. So we have hopes that we can move forward and kind of do some rebuilding. But we feel like we've got some quality guys still there, really fine talent still there, and we can mix in our other guys, and hopefully we'll have a very competitive team. And as I've really said, even this year, we want to be competitive, and we were competitive. And the same goes on for next year. We think we have guys that are talented and want to play, and we'll work hard over the summer and get prepared, and we'll have hopefully a successful season next year.
All right, Tim. Thank you for coming in, and congratulations to the Spartans. Give everybody our best over there, all right?
Will do. Thank you.
Okay. Tim Gale, coach of the state champion West Hall Soccer Boys. We're back to take a look at track and field. Some gold medals over in Jefferson. That story when we return. Your one-stop spot for complete auto repair is the Auto Works shop on Sprout Springs Road. On everything from oil changes to brakes, new and used tires and tune-ups, even the big jobs like transmissions. The specialists at the Auto Works can have you up and running just like that. You talk about value. The Auto Works will not be undersold on used tires or any locally priced repair job. Ask about special discounts for students and teachers with your ID. That's the Auto Works at 6671 Spout Springs Road, just past Flowery Branch High and Spout Springs Elementary Schools. Phone 770-967-1732. We're back. I'm Gary Glenn. This is Hall County Sports. But, it wasn't a state championship, but it was the highest finish ever at the Georgia High School Association State Track and Field Championships for Riverside Military Academy. The Eagles got a true team effort to finish third in the AA class at the famous Georgia Olympics in Jefferson, behind champion Greater Atlanta Christian and runner-up Fitzgerald. Riverside's Chris Howard, a fine all-around athlete, headed to East Tennessee State to play football. Got things off to a good start Thursday when he took second in the shot at 50 feet 3 inches behind Thomasville's Brian Cato, who threw 52 feet 10 1/4, as well as placing seventh in the triple jump at 43 11 1/2. Trey Graham of Fitzgerald won that one with 47 9 1/2.
Didn't do as good as I thought I would, but I mean, second and seven, some people don't even play, so I thank God for that. 2 events at the same time just means I'm an athlete. It's good for me. I'm good to compete.
Tell me how you got into doing triple jumping and shot putter. That's not a, you usually see shot put and discus or something like that, or triple jump and long jump.
Well, Coach Downs told me to do triple jump, and I went over with the shot putters because I didn't feel like running one day. And he told me I get one throw and then I have to leave. And then I threw a 43 as a sophomore. And then he was like, you're throwing shot put now. I threw against Elijah Holyfield and I beat him, and that's what made him throw me in the shot put.
Now on Saturday, it was a state-winning effort by 300-meter intermediate hurdlesman Malik Falk that helped push the Eagles into taking home the third-place team trophy. Falk ran a personal record 39-18 to lead the field, including teammate Tucker Pearson, who ran a 40-03 to finish fourth in that race. Falk earlier had helped get points for the Eagles when he ran on the sixth-place 4x100-meter relay team, along with his teammates Ricky Jones, Dante Tate, and Alphonse Smith III. Tate wound up running third in the 400 meters with a 50-62. Falk and Pearson also finished fifth and sixth in the 110 high hurdles. And the Eagles 4x400-meter relay team of J.J. McAlston, Tate, Christian Postel, and Pearson finished fifth. Malik Falk talked with me after the meet. Was there any more pressure on you going into that race?
Really, the only pressure I thought was coming from Tucker. I really thought he told me before the race that he was going to try to get me, so it was a real nice competition between us and Fitzgerald. So, yeah, I had pressure from Tucker and 2 Fitzgerald people in front of me to catch him.
What did it for you this year, going out this way with as a senior?
For a month now, I've been training with a coach and going to practice on the 2. So, really, just doing the little extra that helps. So.
What's it mean to you guys to have the highest finish at the state meet in Riverside history in the Georgia High School Association?
I mean, for me, last year I was out most of the season off of injury from football, so I really didn't get to play much. So coming back and actually making it all the way to state, it just feels really good. Just can't really describe the feeling right now.
Joining me on the show now, the coach of the Riverside Military Academy Eagles, my friend Jim Myers. And Coach, I rattled off some names of some pretty good athletes there, didn't I?
Yes, sir, you did. We're very impressed with these young men.
Tell me about this meet now. Going in, you knew you'd qualified a lot of guys, and I kind of figured you had a shot at a team trophy. Did you think that?
We thought we could be in the running after the Hall County meet. Chris Howard came to us and was saying, Coach, we can win state. I thought that was a bit elevated, but as I started looking at some numbers, I thought we could be in the middle of a dogfight.
And so you were?
We were, yes. We managed to qualify a lot of people. We dominated our region, scored over 200 points there. We got several of our young men to pass through the sectionals, and we had several entries going into the state meet. As you look at the state meet, there's 2 ways to go about winning it. You either have a lot of athletes in a lot of events, and you pick up your 4th, 5th place finishes, or you have 2 or 3 studs that go out and take first in 3 or 4 events, and you let everybody else scatter a lot of points. We had a lot of men entered, getting Malik up there to that #1. That is what pushed us over the edge.
And, of course, Chris, second. That's 8 points for you right there. So,
yes, sir.
And it was, as I said in my opening remarks, a true team effort.
Yes, sir, it was. We had 3 athletes that scored multiple points or in multiple events. We had Chris that scored in the shot and the triple. We had Malik that scored in the 110 and 300, and we had Tucker that scored in the 110 and 300.
Plus, so, some on your relay.
The relay teams, yes. We had the boys that were on the relay team that qualified to get us in. They could not be there for the finals due to the graduation, but we had our alternates that stepped up, and we said if we get in, we're going to get between 1 and 8. Anything can happen. We had 2 teams get DQ'd, so we moved from 8th to 6th. So
there you go. Has it kind of sunk in yet, Coach? I mean, this is a tremendous accomplishment, I think.
it has not, Gary. It has not. We're still walking around. Everybody at school is saying, "Congratulations, Coach." But the boys were the ones that out there, and they were the ones that performed. They ran fast, they turned left, they threw the shot, they jumped. I tell people that coaching track and cross country, after the gun goes off, my job is over.
Mm-hmm. And you gave a lot of credit to a guy that's going up to East Tennessee State too, didn't you?
I have to give all the credit to Gary Downs. That man is the best track coach I have ever been around. He understands the kinesiology, he understands the anatomy, the physiology. He ran track at North Carolina State, and he is the man that built the team.
Yeah, I started thinking about this, Coach, and I can't remember a higher finish ever for a Gainesville, Hall County area team at the state track meet, higher than third. You may have it right now. We may have to do some more research on that, but that's, again, a tremendous accomplishment. Consider all the stuff that you got to overcome with not knowing sometimes who your athlete's going to be till you get there in the fall.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you have them for a year, so you kind of have a little time to build up to the springtime season, but yet and still, it's not the same as being in a public school.
No, sir, it's not. Riverside is a unique coaching venue. We have boys that come and go. This year we got blessed with Dante Tate. His twin brother is as good as he is, but is academically ineligible. Alphonse Smith III also came to us this year, so we're blessed with that. But then there were boys that were here last year that are not here now. There were boys that were in the fall that are not with me in the spring. Mm-hmm. So wow. That comes and goes. So,
but based on this, do you think next year you're going to be in the contention for another trophy?
We're looking for it. I was talking to one of my young men, and I want to mention him. Modi Menegran was a discus thrower for us. He's at Eggleston Hospital fighting cancer now. And Modi, keep going, buddy. We're with you. As I went down, showed him the trophy Sunday, he was telling me, "Well, Coach, I'm going to be throwing a 140 next year in the discus. We're going to be having PJ in the shot. We're going to be having this in the pole vault. Coach, we're going to do it next year. Be better." I mean, with somebody like that cheering for me, I got to be there. One of the things I tell the boys early on in the spring, my goal for them is to win state in their event by the time they're a senior. That's what we're pushing for. That's what I'm training them for. I want them to be training for that. If they're not training to be state champion by the time that you're a senior, why are you out here in the sun? Why are you out here in the cold and the rain running track? If you're not in it to win it, why are you here? So this is our goal. We want to set it at that. We want to work toward that.
All right. Jim Myers, thanks for coming in, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck to the Eagles in the future.
Thank you, sir. We plan to be there, flying high, screaming loud. Thank you.
Now, at the state track meet also, there were a number of other medal-winning performances for our local athletes. Gainesville's Hunter Mallard started things off last Thursday with a gold medal in the 5A pole vault, going 15 feet to set a personal record. Now, the amazing thing is Mallard's just a sophomore and just started vaulting his freshman year.
I had a lot more competition that I expected, and I love it. Competition gets me going, and once I get going, I'm really, really competitive.
That 15 feet, was that the best you'd ever done in a competition this year? I mean, what's going through your head as you're going down the runway there looking at 15?
You made a couple of runs at it. I don't look at it until I'm upside down and over it. But when I was going down, it's just another vault. Just another one. Gotta get higher.
Now, later in the day, Johnson's Juan Soto took second place in the 4A pole vault with his PR of 13 feet 6 inches. North Oconee's Don Terry won it with a vault of 15 feet and a half an inch. Juan now heads on to Emmanuel College to compete in a lot of things, including the pole vault as well as the decathlon.
Tell me about your day, Juan.
It was pretty good. I ended up finishing second with a vault of 13.6. It's my PR for this season and meet.
So it's pretty good. It's an honor to be here first and foremost, and I just thank God for it all.
Well, Hunter, won 5A. You guys know each other, I guess, pretty well, huh?
Yeah, me and him are part of the same club back in Gainesville, and I practice with him. I see him every day, and I get to see his progression. It's been an honor practicing with him. He really pushes me to get better too.
Now, you were a cross-country runner in the fall, and you're going on to Emmanuel College. What all are you going to be doing there?
I'll be running cross-country in the fall. I'll be doing indoor track and field. I'll be doing decathlon and pole vaulting.
Looking forward to that.
Yes, I am. I'm excited. So it'll be my first time doing it. It's going to be an adventure. I'll be interested to see what I can do.
Hall County distance men did well in the first running final event, the 1,600-meter run. In 4A, North Hall's Quentin Miles ran third in 4:22.55. Marist's Frank Pittman won that race in 4:16.38. Pittman, by the way, also won the 3,200 in the class the next night in 9:23.27, and Miles was sixth in 9:37.27. In the 5A 1,600, Flowery Branch had two men on the victory stand. Grant O'Callahan ran third in 4:18.94, with teammate Jake Schubert fifth in 4:21.93. The winner of that race, repeat champion Logan Poteet of Kell, he ran a 4:12.01. Poteet also won the 3,200 the next evening in 9:05.5, while Schubert was third in 9:30.33, and O'Callahan running fourth in 9:31.2. West Hall's two relay teams placed in AAA. The 4x100 team of Jay Crawford, Jared Matthews, Patrick Hudson, and Darius Coleman Blair ran a 42.76 to place fifth in the finals, and the 4x400 team of Tommy Oliver, Coleman Blair, Crawford, and Matthews posted a 3:28.48 to place seventh. The honorary meet director of Georgia Olympics 44, they've been doing it since 1972 down in Jefferson. This year's honorary meet director, my old teacher and wrestling coach, Hall of Famer Jack Keene, who is a Hall of Famer in the Wrestling Hall of Fame as well as Track and Field Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Coach Keene. Playoff baseball up next. This is Hall County Sports Television. Playoff baseball up for you right now on Hall County Sports TV. I'm Gary Glenn. The Gainesville Red Elephants split their quarterfinal series with South Effingham, winning Game 1 5-3 behind Jonathan Getty's complete game effort, but losing Game 2 10-3. Caleb Whittington had an RBI double and Michael Curry a solo home run in the win. Curry hit a two-run dinger in the loss. The Red Elephants and the Mustangs then battled back and forth in an epic Game 3, with Gainesville finally prevailing 8-6 to send the Crimson Herd to their second straight Final Four. What a game for Whittington. He came around to score after he doubled. Anthony Carrera singled and Geddes doubled. Banks Griffith singled to bring home Geddes for a 3-2 Gainesville lead. Frederick Cardona added to the lead with his first home run of the year, a two-run shot, and the Elephants appeared to be cruising. Starter Harrison Stiles got into a pickle, however, when he loaded the bases and gave up a grand slam to Austin Thompson. After one more batter, Geddes came on to get the last out of the inning and then stay in the rest of the way to get the win. Whittington would then not only tie the game with a two-out homer, but later get what proved to be the winner, his 17th round tripper of the season, a two-run blast which drove in Curry, who had walked. Now, that all set up a semifinal series against Jones County, and that series began this past Monday, and Hall County Sports TV was there. Well, as you can see behind me, it's a happy Gainesville crowd as the Red Elephants are going to wind up playing for the 5A State Baseball Championship after sweeping Jones County in the semifinals 4-3 and 5-4 here at Ivy Watson Field. Gainesville got off to a 4-0 lead in Game 1. Big blow by winning pitcher Jonathan Geddes, a three-run home run. The Greyhounds battled back with a two-run homer by Walker Juhan to eventually close to 4-3, but that's the way it would end. They got no closer. Geddes got out of a bases-loaded jam in the seventh. Game 2 was also a one-run affair. Caleb Whittington started on the mound but was relieved by his catcher, Michael Curry. Whittington also had a solo homer in the 5-4 win as the Elephants added some insurance runs, a couple in the 7th, and they go on to win it 5-4. And after the game, I asked Coach Jeremy Kemp of the Red Elephants how it felt to be playing for the state championship.
Awesome. It feels great. Proud of these boys. They played hard. They played hard all year. Couldn't be happier.
In 4A, North Hall ran into a hot Whitewater team on the road in Fayetteville and got knocked out in the round of 8, 8-2 and 10-1, those final scores. Whitewater pitchers struck out 24 Trojans in the twin bill while hitting a home run in each game. A 2-run dinger in the first game by Brandon Bell to tie the game at 2 after the Trojans had actually taken a 2-0 lead. And then there was a grand slam of the nightcap by designated hitter Miles Jones. It was a scary moment for the Trojans when right fielder Matthew Cox got hit on the back of the neck by a curveball in Game 1. He was knocked down, laid there for a while, and finally got sent to the hospital. He was checked out there and eventually came back in time to see the end of the series. Nevertheless, the loss of Cox hurt the team, said Trojan head coach Trent Mongero.
It was a hurdle we had to overcome, and we certainly miss Matthew, but we're glad he's going to be okay.
They had a lot of pitching coaches. I think that we had them for like 24 strikeouts in the doubles.
Yeah, they pitched well, but I give them credit, but honestly, we just didn't have a good night. We've seen that good of pitching all year. I really wasn't blown away by it, especially in Game 2, the lefty. I kept asking everybody what's going on. I hadn't seen that many guys miss balls completely but you got to tip your hat to them. They certainly are quality guys for certain, but not anybody that should shut us down to the level they did. So we tip our hat to them. Wasn't our night, but what a great year. Nobody ever expected us to be here. Only the second time in school history. 2 of the last 3 years we've been to the Elite 8, we tip our hat to Whitewater and we'll regroup for next year.
When you think back on the year, what's going to really stand out about this team? Maybe more than others.
The seniors, just how hard they worked, since they were in the 8th grade. They're all North Hall boys, coming right out of that middle school. We don't get any transfers. And, they bought in, they committed, and they've grown up so much as men and ball players. So, I'll remember them for sure and the contributions they made to our program.
Trojans actually had a pretty tough time manufacturing runs in those games. Drew Coker tripled, but he was stranded in the first contest. North Hall did score in Game 1 as Dylan Lavender, who subbed for Cox, wound up coming around to score an error, and Corbin Llewellyn came home on an RBI double by Fowler Brooks. Micah Strickland had a pair of doubles in Game 2. One of those moved pinch hitter Jake Chester, who had walked over to third, and Chester came home on Lincoln Hewitt's sac fly RBI, the only run the Trojans would score in Game 2. Brock Wingo was hitless on the day until his last at-bat, a single which was North Hall's last hit of the series. He took second on a throw home on that one. And I had a word with him on behalf of his fellow seniors.
You guys were so close-knit and fought so hard this season when a lot of people say, well, they're not going to have much coming back, but here you are in the Elite 8.
Yeah, they told us we're the underdog, and look at we're in the Elite 8. That just shows you how close we were and what you can do when you're a team.
Not the way the season that you would like to have ended, but some good memories here this year.
We had a great run at it. I'd hate to see it end this way.
So as you look back on the season, what's going to be the best part of this year?
All the memories I made and all the friendships that we bonded together.
The Trojans will end the year at 21-10. Back to wrap it up in just a moment. Hall County Sports is also brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals, and remember, when you go Green Ford. By Turner Wood & Smith, serving the insurance needs of our area for over 100 years. And by McKever Road United Methodist Church on McKever Road in Oakwood. Loving Christ, loving people, and helping people love Christ. We wrap things up this week by talking about golf. Gainesville's Spencer Alston took an impressive step towards what has to be a dream last week when he finished on top in a local qualifier for the U.S. Open Golf Championship. If my counting is correct, that's his 9th individual top finish of the spring. Spence, who's a junior with the Red Elephant golf team, shot a 5-under par 67 at the Legends course at Chateau Alon to clinch a spot in a sectional qualifier, where another outing like that would likely book him a spot in the U.S. Open. Now, the next one's going to be 36 holes in the sectional on June 8th at Hawks Ridge in Canton. And usually the top 2 or 3 golfers in each sectional will qualify for the U.S. Open. Man, what that would be. Now, the 2015 U.S. Open itself will take place at Chambers Bay in Tacoma, Washington. Now, earlier this week, Spence was with his team at the 5A High School State Championships in Columbus as the state golf tournaments were contested. And we'll have reports on that next week. That's our show for this time. I'm Gary Glenn. This is Hall County Sports.